Hello, welcome to J Coloring. My name is Liz and I'm continuing on with the Raven Guide page out of the Fairy and Fantasy Grayscale Coloring Book by Christine Caron. And I finished up some of the parts off camera. I did the rest of the shirt and colored his hand. And now we're just going to work on the other little bits and pieces. We still have like quite a bit to go, but at least he's done. And I thought today we'd work on a lot of the stuff that goes around the picture and the flowers and greenery and stuff. And I'm going to try to just use these three green colors for most of that: the Kelly green, peacock green, and spring green. And these are Prismacolor pencils, and kind of go from there. Hopefully we make some progress. I'm going to go in with Kelly green. And just start kind of shading. I'm kind of noticing some spots that I missed on the shirt, kind of there and right there. So I'm going to have to go back in and fix that. And then I kind of was a little bit pressing down a little bit harder doing the shadow here. And so now I'm going to just take a very light hand and just go over the center and over the shadowed areas, just laying down that color. But nothing too special. I just kind of want to get the color down. And then I'm going to take spring green and very lightly go over what we just did. I'm just going to take this right over top. Not using a whole lot of pressure. And we can always go back in with the Kelly green to add a little bit more shadow if you feel like it needs it. I think that's looking really good. And then just to kind of get the big picture, you know, see what it's going to look like, I'm going to do the flowers here at the end. And I'm going to start with Spanish orange and kind of starting kind of underneath the petals here. And then Same on the other. Then just kind of outlining around the edges with the Spanish orange. And then taking canary yellow, I'm going to go over the Spanish orange on the little petals here. I'm always, I don't know what color usually to color the flowers, but I did go back and look up Christine Caron's original finished artwork of this page, and kind of seeing what color the flowers were, because I was really struggling with what was flower and what was should be greenery. So I kind of cheated on that one a little bit. But I was very stumped. I didn't know what part to color what, because I was gonna go color the whole thing like one color. But I really like how that turned out. I think it looks really nice. I'm just gonna work on these other ones. Okay, using peacock green, I'm going to start outlining the areas of this grass here. It's a little bit of a blue, green, and I'm not using a ton of pressure. Just kind of following the line work. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm outlining stuff, I like kind of have major concentration and still mess up. So I'm just kind of laying this down. Sometimes when I'm doing grass, it almost reminds me a little bit of how I do hair, but less kind of strands, more of kind of like an even layer, because I eventually do go in and kind of smooth it all out. I don't know if this is part of the grass or part of the framework, but I'm gonna go ahead and color it like it is part of the grass. And these kind of stems on this like plant or grass, you know, right here, I'm probably going to try my best to avoid these when I am doing the moon in the background, but go in later and try to kind of work those colors together if possible. I'm not really sure if it'll work out, but I don't know. I'm afraid to kind of go in with the I was going to use kind of like a brown golden color on these parts, and even if I do, I'm afraid that using the background colors and the moon color that it's going to cover that up, and then I'll just have to go back in. So I'm just going to do it all at once on like the end, kind of one of the last steps I do. If that makes sense, I don't know. Okay, and just so we don't have to get out any more colors, I'm just going to go in with spring green and lightly go over the center and over the whole piece of grass here. I never know what I do with that paintbrush that I use to dust away kind of the parts of the pencil that come off. Pencil shavings, I guess that would be called. Okay, so I think that looks good. I might do a little bit more touching up with the peacock green. And very lightly going in with that. And then go back in with spring green. Just smoothing it out a little bit more. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, so we're going to work a little bit on the border here. I'm debating on what color to do this because it kind of looks like a raven. So I'm thinking about doing that black. And then the rest, kind of the neutrally greenish color I want to go for. I'm going to be using these three colors: artichoke, bronze, and yellow chartreuse. I think this is what the name of this pencil is. It's the PC1004, but I've sharpened over the name, so it's hard to tell, but I think that's what it is. And so yeah, we're just going to get started on that. I'm going to start with the darkest color because that's just my preference most of the time, and that's the artichoke. And I'm going to kind of outline and work my way closer into the center. Just kind of outlining the edge of this design here. I'm just going to start in this small section just to see if I kind of like how it's looking, because we can always erase if it looks terrible, right? Sometimes, you know, just gotta go with it. This is bronze, and just gonna take this kind of where we left off with the artichoke. I'm just going to lightly take that all over this section we're working on. I'm not using very much pressure, just kind of trying to get that color down. You can use a little bit more pressure toward the edges where we put artichoke, but very lightly going with the bronze in the center. And then taking our yellow chartreuse, I'm going to see what it looks like if I blend all those out together. I think it looks good. That's kind of what I was imagining, sort of. Now, I don't know if this will look good with the background I've chosen. I don't know. I always second guess myself when it kind of looks like a weird green yellow color, but I like it. I'm gonna keep going with it. This is artichoke. I'm just gonna outline. Then I'm going to go in with bronze. yellow chartreuse and just trying to blend those out. Take an artichoke, and I'm just gonna outline this whole section here and do the same thing that I've been doing with the bronze and the yellow chartreuse. And I'm going to take bronze and just go back over. This is kind of like a green, goldy bronze look to it. Now taking the yellow chartreuse and just kind of going over everything we just did. I'm just gonna keep on working on this part of the page, the little border, and I might speed it up a little bit just so we make some progress in this video. But I'm just going to start out with artichoke and completely outline this whole section, and then work back from there with bronze and the yellow chartreuse. Okay, now we're going to be working on the raven, and I've colored a raven before, but it's been several years, so I'm kind of keeping with the theme, kind of similar to his hair, but with, you know, you got the black, and I'm going to use 70% cool gray, and then kind of cobalt blue hue and light aqua as my highlight color. So that's going to be focused a lot toward the front where kind of the moon's hitting the raven. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll work out okay. And I might go in with, you know, just the gray and the black for the beak and the talons and stuff. I don't know, I don't remember what you could call that. The legs of the raven. And I'm probably gonna, you know, start with the black and work my way to the lighter colors. Let's go ahead and set these to the side. And starting out with black, let's kind of, just to see, you know, if I like how it's going. It's going to be very similar to his hair, so I hope it turns out okay. But I'm just going to start with this feather here, and I'm going to, I think this would be a good feather to start with. Maybe we'll start with his face. I don't know. Sorry for the indecision. We'll just start here. And I'm just kind of putting a light layer of black down, kind of in the shadowy areas, and outlining, creating that shape. And hopefully it will turn out okay. I always start, when I start a page, I start with the things that make me least nervous and then work my way out. And this one was a little bit of a nervous one to color because I don't color ravens very much. But it's good to get out of my comfort zone. Okay, I got the black laid down. So I'm going to go in with 70% cool gray and see how this works out. Just adding that kind of along the black. And I might go back and touch up a little bit with the black again, because I want that to be pretty strong in this feather. Noticeable, I guess. I think the thing that makes me most nervous is the background. It's just a big commitment a background is sometimes, especially if you do it with pencils. And I don't feel like I'm talented enough to use other things other than pencil. I'm barely talented to do that, but if I tried Distress Ink Oxide, I feel like I make a huge mess. But I'm trying to get better at using those. And then we're going back in with black. And I just want to darken up those areas. I don't want to lose some of that really dark black color. Okay, So cobalt blue hue, just with the lightest of touches, I'm adding this color in here, but I'm not like using a whole lot of pressure. I just want a hint of this color to show through. And this being kind of further away from the moon, I'm not going to be putting too much blue in this feather, but just kind of going back and forth and, you know, adding a little bit here and there until I like kind of the color we're getting. And I think I probably am going to get out the white Prisma. It's just my favorite thing to blend stuff out with. This is light aqua, and I'm going to take this just directly over top that kind of slightly less shaded area, the more highlighted area, and just go over top of those. And then one more time with the black, making sure, you know, it's looking nice and shaped out. Very light layer over this side of the feather. I'm taking a pretty heavy line, shape out that edge there. Okay, so now I'm going to hunt down my white Prisma because I don't know what I did with it. I'm going to have to sharpen it. Make sure it's clean. So taking the white, I'm going to try and attempt to blend this out. Maybe go in with 70% cool gray, and I'm going to kind of touch up a few areas, kind of this end here of the feather. And then I'm going to go back in with light aqua and just kind of go in the center of a few of these areas. I think I'm liking how that's going. I'm going to start on the next feather over, and I'm just going to take my white real quick and go over kind of the edge just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with black and just start kind of shaping out this feather. It is kind of hard to keep this other feather kind of distinctive, but I'm just going to try the best I can. And going in with 70% cool gray, just kind of deepening that black, blending it out a little as I go, but leaving a little bit of the paper showing so I can put those other colors in there. Just kind of scribbling that in there. And then cobalt blue hue, I'm going to take that kind of where I left off with that gray and just kind of adding that in there. And then we're going to do the same on this side. I'm just gonna kind of run that along. And I'm gonna try to go in, because see, I kind of need to really add a heavy layer of black to kind of get those different shapes of the feathers showing again, where they're kind of distinct and separate, maybe. I'm hoping I can get them to look like that. And then light aqua, I'm just going to go over top of that center space there with the less black in it. And I think that looks good. Then we're just going to go back in with black. I guess I'm throwing these on the floor and just kind of doing a little bit more shading. Okay. A little bit more touching up with 70%. Might be going over top a little bit, because this is kind of the back part of the raven and I don't want it to be too bright. And then I'm going to go in with white. Let's kind of start here, work my way up, using a fair amount of pressure, but not a whole lot, just till you kind of start to see those colors smooth in together. A little bit of touching up. Going over the center with this light aqua. And then going back in with black and just kind of doing a little bit more shading. Okay, so I like how this is going, but I want to work on a little bit of this part that's kind of facing toward the moon. So I'm going to take black and I'm going to start drawing the shape of the wing out for this first part here, just kind of tracing over the line art. and I want along this kind of side here to be darker than the front of it, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to start adding in that color just along here. And I'm going to take the black and kind of outline parts of this, like part of the bird that's kind of sticking out, but only doing the back side of it. I'm trying to not add too much at the front, and then just taking my way back around. Adding a tiny bit along here. Okay, so 70% cool gray. Sorry if I get those out of the frame. I'm still not very good at using those. I'm just going to take that, doing the same thing where I left off that black color, just kind of adding that in there as well. Along like the back of this kind of part that sticks out. Over this kind of line we created, but not going all the way to the line art line. So that's down, and now we're going to go with cobalt blue hue, and very lightly, I'm all the way back on this pencil almost, I'm just adding this for a little hint of blue, just right where we kind of went in with that gray color. Okay. I'm thinking I want to go back in with some more black. I didn't want to go in too much with that because I didn't want to end up regretting having it too dark. So I'm just lightly adding a little bit more of that in here. Creating that shape so that when we put the lighter colors, we got something for it to contrast with. And I'm just, working with it as best I can. Okay. I'm trying to fight the urge to, do lots of layers. So this is 70%, and I'm lightly going back in with this. And then I promise I'm done with doing that for now. And then we'll go in with blending them all together after the light aqua. So this is just kind of blending that in a little bit more. And then light aqua. And I'm just gonna go start at the edge here, very lightly, taking that color and adding it to the rest of the, you can kind of go over the whole thing. It isn't gonna hurt nothing, but I'm just focusing on like the front of the bird here. Okay. Then maybe I'll go back in with just a little bit of black. Very lightly. Just sharpening up some of those areas. Cobalt blue hue, and just a little bit of that. It may not do anything, but I'm going to put it there anyway, just to kind of tone down a little bit of that light aqua, hopefully. And then 70%. I'm really kind of winging it. This that was a terrible joke, I know. But yeah, just taking that 70% and adding that in there. Okay. So now I'm going to try and see if it looks okay when I blend it out with the white, starting with the top and around the edge here and working my way in. Just kind of lightly running that along there. And then we can always go back in and touch it up later. I might go in with light aqua and just kind of bring out a little bit more of that blue. But I think that's a good start right there. And so I'm going to continue to work my way along the edge of his wing and taking black. Just going to do the same thing. Follow those shapes. Kind of find a stopping place. We'll stop about right here with that, doing this section. This is a very small part of his wing, so a sharp pencil is needed to get in those small spaces. This is 70% cool gray, and I'm just going to run that along where we kind of laid down that black. And cobalt blue hue. And then light aqua. I'm just running that over the top here. And do a little bit on the back section in the middle. And I'm going to go in with black and just kind of add that in there a little bit more to go up against that highlight. and keep that shape. Okay, starting at the top with the white Prisma, I'm just going to run that along that edge here. This did end up being a lot bluer, but I did want there to be a very noticeable blue for the outer part of the wing here that is closest to the moon. So I think I'm going to leave it alone for now and then work my way, you know, back into it if I feel like it needs to be a little bit darker. Okay. I do want to work on his face, and you can kind of, thankfully, you know, with Christine Caron's grayscale, you can really kind of see the direction of the feathers. So I'm going to try my best to, you know, use that to my advantage and kind of work this in there. I'm really going to outline his eye. Kind of get that black in there, and then just kind of flicking this in there. I'm gonna do the same thing and kind of outline the back of these feathers that kind of stick out. Outline this part of his neck or face feathers. Kind of and I am going a little bit close to his hair, and I'm hoping that maybe when I'm done we can kind of touch that up and really kind of sharpen the edges of his hair and what's his hair and what is the raven, and hopefully it won't look too weird. Just going to be a lot of black on his face. I am a little nervous doing the face. I don't want it to look weird. I'm just kind of scribbling this black in here. It looks kind of really fuzzy on the front part of his beak. I'm just kind of adding that in there for a start. Just kind of getting familiar with the way I want the feathers to lay out. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with 70% cool gray and just kind of, I don't want that to be too close, picking up where I left off with the black. Hope y'all can see what's going on here. And I'm just taking that to add that extra depth, bringing the colors to that transition. Okay. Got cobalt blue hue. Kind of put that over there. I'm just gonna lightly, like I've been doing, add this in there. Maybe I'll put it up there. Sorry, I'm still getting used to having those. I'm trying not to cover it up with my hand. So I'm just, again, really lightly adding this into kind of the places where we left some of the paper showing. Kind of picking up where I left off with the 70% cool gray. And just kind of adding that to the end of that. Okay. We'll go in with light aqua. And I'm just kind of lightly adding this to those high points. I assume that his eye is really black, but I might have to kind of go back to look at a reference photo because I forgot to pay attention to what the eye looks like. Okay. And back in with black. I'm still kind of adding that detail in there and darkening up certain places. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in with 70% cool gray and just kind of add a little bit of that. Maybe a little bit more cobalt as well. Just slightly going over. Then a little bit more black. Okay. And, oh, sorry. Finally white. And, you know, hopefully it looks okay. Kind of starting on the front, lightly adding that to that section that's closest to the moon. And then in the center, oops. And just kind of trying to blend it out. And I'm going to go back in with black and just try to get some more of that texture of the feather in there. Maybe a little bit of cool gray. Do a little bit of blending out on the darker colors. I don't want to take the white on too much. Okay. And then brighten it up a little bit again. I might go in with a light layer of light aqua. I'm just taking white Prisma to a few areas again. But yeah, I'm just going to continue to work on his wings and kind of go from there. Just trying to give everything shape and make it, you know, go together as best I can. And this is black. I'm just kind of taking that and outlining everything. I think this is going to be the end of the video. Originally I was only going to have 3 parts to this color along, but it ended up being a little bit too long, so I thought it would be better to split it into 2 more parts to finish the color along. But I know the next video I'm going to be working on the background and just doing a lot of the finishing touches, so I don't have too much more to go, so that's good. But thank y'all so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. And until the next video, bye.